going on, guys? Dr. Matt here of the RHODY Strength Podcast. We are on episode 2 of Game Day RX, episode where we talk all things CrossFit, local competitions, local athletes. We here at CrossFit Windrose today, which we get the sign in the background, get the nice studio set up here. We got a couple great guests on today. Matt Early, Jess Donahue, Jeff Arnold. What's going on, guys?
Not much. How are you?
Doing good. All right, so we're going to start it right off. We're going to get into some of the workouts. So just discussing what the open was like, how you guys felt during them. So we're going to start off with 22.1. So we had 3 wall walks, 12 dumbbell snatches, 15 box jump overs with the 50-pound dumbbell for men, 35 for females, and 24-inch box. 15-minute time cap.
15-minute AMRAP.
50-minute AMRAP. You started off, Matt. How'd you feel with that?
So I actually like that workout. I think that's like a good like initial open test. Kind of like a low barrier to entry in terms of like skill level there. Just more so like how efficient do you move and like how long can you hold on to like a fast pace. I really like that workout. I thought it was a well-programmed workout. Definitely a great way to start off the open.
Saw the return of wall walks there.
Yeah,
from last year.
Something I drilled in after getting embarrassed by the wall walks last year. They felt a lot better this year. So, yeah, overall I thought it was a good WOD. I did like the like step down standard. I thought it was like cool. Kind of like levels out the playing field, I guess, and like kind of forces you to like be like focus on efficiency. Like kind of like give you another little thing to think about there. So overall, I thought that was pretty good WOD. Definitely a good WOD to start the open off with.
Yeah,
sure.
I liked the no rebounding too, just from a PT standpoint.
Facts.
Just like I know people at the highest level, or even not the highest level, are just going to push as hard as possible, as fast as possible. So there always is a slightly increased risk for
sure.
your Achilles on something like that. But what'd you think, Jess? How'd you like it?
I was really excited when I saw this released. I'm pretty sure I like texted Jeff like literally like 3 seconds after they like put it up on the screen. I was like, this is my workout. So I was really excited. Yeah. I love wall walks. The first time I ever did a wall walk, I actually broke my big toe because I fell off the wall. So this felt like some really good redemption for me.
Nice.
I did like the step down standard until the very end when I had one box jump to go before. So I had to do a box jump all the way over, which was like a Hail Mary moment. Like, let's hope to God, like I clear the box and I don't like eat it going over to the other side. But yeah, so it was a good one.
So on the last rep, you actually jumped over
the whole box. I had no choice. There was like 2 seconds left, and I was like, we're getting 11 rounds.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Badass.
Let's go back to the fact that what did you get on that workout?
11 rounds.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was literally one of the, top 100 scores in the world?
Top 300.
Top 300. So
Yeah.
It was pretty wild.
It was an out-of-body experience when I was doing
hell of a start to the
it.
open.
Yeah. What was that?
So that's a hell of a
Yeah,
start.
it really was.
Can we also know one other fact? How many opens have you done before this?
This is my first open.
No way.
Yeah. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I just keep showing up, so.
Well, you got Jeff as coach, so that's always helpful.
She keeps showing up and good things keep happening.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we're just gonna ride the roller coaster
For sure.
right now.
That's the name of the game. That's what we live for. Like, obviously, as the old man in the room, I definitely favored the step downs, because
Good for those old knees.
yeah, our bodies, us old guys, we can only handle so much. But it was really fun. It was a good learning experience about pacing once you get in the middle rounds. How much you choose, whether you're going to feel bad for yourself or if you're just going to continue to keep moving along, because that was kind of the test of this workout. This is a workout that, your eyes can be rolling in the back of your head and you could be saying, oh my gosh, this is the worst thing ever, but there's no real reason to stop moving because the wall walk count only being 3, it really wasn't something that was going to challenge anybody. The dumbbell weight, it's standard. It's something where, most athletes, you're going to see them not putting down the dumbbell.
12 reps isn't really
exactly
high volume for a set or anything.
And it's funny because I think everybody kind of realized that it was a box jump workout shortly thereafter. Yep. And it became not only that is, okay, how do I take care of my hip flexors? Because, you get, even 8-9 rounds in that workout, and that's so many box jumps that it just takes such a toll on your hip flexors because you're also stopping to turn and step off the box, that it was an incredible amount of work in just one area. So it was definitely, to Matt's point, I think it was really well programmed. I think it was a great, just a reminder, like, hey, did you guys work on the wall walks from the last year? And
it was a good way to differentiate the stimulus with the wall walk.
Sure. Absolutely.
So it's more so like how fast can you do the wall walks and how fast can you hold on to that. Whereas what was it last year?
There's a ton of wall walks.
It was one up to like 21
Yeah.
or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
It's more of a strength endurance.
So it was more so like how well can your shoulders hang on to doing wall walks. Where this was more so like how fast can you like maintain that wall walk speed with like a relatively lowish heart rate, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess you could say.
Sure.
That's a great way of putting it.
Yeah, I think it was very well programmed. Well, I definitely just started the open off with too.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a great way to get the year going.
Sure.
Cool. So let's move on to workout number 2. So we had the deadlifting one. So ascending from 1 to 10 and then back down to 1 reps for time of deadlifts and bar facing burpees. So 225 barbell was the standard weight for men, 155
Yep.
for women, and time cap of 10 minutes on there.
Yeah, I just want to jump in real quick on that one. I loved that was the workout that nobody wanted to respect until they did it the first time.
Oh yeah.
but I realize I'm going out of turn here, so.
So I actually like this workout in a vacuum. I think it's a very good, very well programmed workout in a vacuum. Like for the reasons Jeff said, I think people tend to underestimate it. I know we had like a couple members at One Asterisk being like, "Oh, this shouldn't be like too bad." It's like, dude, that's a lot of deadlifts for like the average person to do 100, 225.
Yeah.
Those add up really quick. But I do not like this workout the way it was programmed into this open. I don't think there was really any variety in terms of like the movements. So like week 1 was hinging and like bounding with the box jumps. Again, hinging and bounding, and like kind of like actually different time domain. But I just think they probably could have been a little more creative in movement patterns. But I do like the workout itself. I like how aggressive it is. I like how sneaky it is with like people like kind of underestimating it, thinking like, oh, like 225 is not like super heavy, but like, and I think a lot of people sleep on the burpee blowing up your lower back than people actually realize. Because when you're doing that burpee, you're staying so low to the ground when you like do that side step or whatever, get over that barbell. You're like staying in a hinge position like the whole time. So it really like kind of compounds on the fact of all those deadlifts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jess, what did you think?
I have a lot of feelings. I'm annoyed that people keep talking smack about this workout because politely, like, why didn't you go faster then?
True. No, I'm not saying
I don't know.
I love it. I love
it. But
Jess absolutely killed this workout.
Yeah.
I was really excited when I first saw it released. Then watching the live announcement, I was like, okay, like I don't know if I'm so excited anymore because like the girls, Laura, like just barely finished, and then one of the
that was scary.
Yeah, I was
Seeing
like,
them,
okay,
kind of get close to the time cap. I was like, oh,
yeah,
fuck.
like this is gonna.
Laura
Horvath.
Laura and who else?
It was not Bethany Chaburn. It was
Emma.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Emma Carey, is that her name?
No, it wasn't Emma Carey. It was another young teen that just came up. Emma Lawson, I want to say. Maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that made me nervous. And then Jeff had me try the up ladder, so I just went 1 through 10 just to get that feeling, and I saw my pace, and I was like, okay, so like I think we can finish it, but I was worried about what was going to happen in the second half, and it ended up going pretty well. So
nice.
I think this workout is definitely a wheelhouse for you. Like, because like you said, why didn't you just go faster? That's kind of like your mindset. I think you're definitely probably one of the most mentally tough like athletes I've ever come across.
Thank you.
And this
Wow,
is
that's nice of you, man.
and this is definitely like you said, like I'm not saying why don't you just go faster? Watching you do this was very impressive. Cause I was judging Jeff while you were doing it. And so like when Jeff was like doing his burpees or whatever, like feeling bad.
Oh, it was bad.
I would always like peek over because I was like I think she can finish this. So I look over and I saw you do like 3 deadlifts, put the barbell down and go into your burpees. And I looked at the clock and it was like 8:40. What did you finish? Like
9:03.
Yeah, so it was like 8:40 and I looked back and then I was like judging Jeff and I was like, dude, she's gonna finish. She's
my
gonna
personal
crush it.
goal was literally just to finish. I was like,
Yeah.
9:59 would be sick. And then when I knew once I got past 5, like that was such a treat.
Yeah, once
like
you kinda
that
come- you're
down
coming back
was
down,
so
yeah.
fun because I knew like I was gonna do pretty well.
Yeah.
And then when I turned around and I saw the clock, like I lost my mind.
Yeah.
Like that feeling because I knew what the elites were putting up.
Right.
Yeah, no.
And I was like, I knew some of the people that I beat. Like these are people that I
Yeah.
like have looked up to
Yeah,
since I
sure.
started CrossFitting, which is very recently. But it
It's still
was
very
yeah,
exciting.
it was so cool.
Very
What was your-
Yeah,
What was your time?
9:03.
Awesome.
Yeah,
She was
Yeah.
blazing.
Faster
She was blazing.
than Laura Horvath.
Yeah.
Let's,
Unreal.
She was blazing.
yeah.
let's clarify
She was
that
what,
one.
like 67th in the world? after that
It
workout?
was my place for that workout was 133 in
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But overall, I think you were like top 100 after that workout, right?
I was because of my placing on the first one, I was under top 100, but
Yeah.
still top 200, which is
Awesome.
Unreal.
kind of a
Fuck yeah.
trip. Yeah, I remember like I took a screenshot and I sent it to my family, and my mom was like, "That doesn't make any sense."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, you guys are my support system, so you guys are supposed to be like, thank you." But like, I also agree, this doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense. But thanks.
You gotta appreciate the humility. Yeah. So now, I guess from the average person take on it, the only thing I can really say is you get through the first 10 rounds and you're just sad. There's no real.
He is not feeling happy, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there was just no coming back from that one. You had to go, you had to send it, and you had to hope for the best. And it sucks because that workout, you tell yourself, okay, I want to pace it, have a game plan, but this was literally to a T. Mike Tyson's famous quote: "Everybody can have a plan until you get punched in the mouth."
Literally, this
And
workout does punch you right in the mouth.
and everybody wanted to kind of disrespect it at first, and the deadlift and the low burpees, like Matt pointed out, it punched you in the mouth, and it was a very tough moment. You get to even the round of 7, and that's about maybe 2.5, 3 minutes in, and that's when the pain starts hitting.
It gets heavy really quick because you go like 1, 2, 3, like those rounds go by so quick.
Oh yeah,
And like Jess said, there's the caveat to it. If you are fit enough, like Jess is, to finish it, that's like the blessing, right? It's like you get to that 5 and it's like, all right, I'm almost there. Just suck it up. It's 30 seconds. Like,
yeah.
but that's also the trap in the beginning of the workout is those first like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're like, oh, this is not bad.
Right.
And next thing you know, your
Those
back's
next
on
few rounds just
next thing you
kill
know, your back's on fire and you actually cannot pick up the barbell.
Yeah, and I mean, it definitely between week 1 and week 2 put everybody in a position like you were talking about with the hip flexor and the posterior chain.
Yeah.
Now you're starting to actually have to think like, is it worth it to retest? Because
Right.
if things go poorly, you have a bad lift, all of a sudden you're out for week 3. So you gotta this is where some strategy in terms of your engine comes into play,
for sure.
and how to really kind of game the leaderboard, if you will.
Sure.
But also make sure that you're healthy in this process, because that is just such a damaging amount of
Very
repetitions. Yeah, and it takes such a toll on your body, and it's how do I handle this situation? How do I monitor this test to make myself be able to handle it if I need to retest? And that's kind of why I gave Jess the idea, like, hey, let's work on 1 to 10, build our pace so
Don't
we
kill
have
yourself.
That
And
was really
Exactly.
smart.
Yeah,
Really smart.
I mean that's kind of what we were looking for, is just to kind of figure out where Jess needed to be. With Matt, we took a little bit different approach because we knew Matt was going to make the quarterfinals one way or another, and so it was just, hey, hit each workout once, we're moving on, and we're getting back to training because obviously Matt's prepping for FOTC as well.
Right.
So that's kind of the difference of knowing not only your athletes, but like where everybody's
For
at
sure.
and what you're trying to do. Jess first open, it was kind of, hey, have fun with it, do what you got to do, but let's try to keep the governor on there so we can stay healthy.
Yeah.
And that was a big goal.
And I think for Jess, it was definitely more of like a benchmark opportunity. per
Absolutely.
se. I didn't really have any doubts that she would like not make quarterfinals. I think it was pretty like cut and dry that she would make it.
Yeah.
But I think it was good because, like you said, she's never done the open. So I think it was good to just get a benchmark on it for her. So it was good to kind of like maximize her score there.
It helped me get some of the nerves out of the way too,
Exactly.
because generally speaking, I was very nervous for each of these workouts.
I think we all had butterflies.
Yeah.
in our
Yeah.
stomachs.
Yeah, I mean,
year.
not only that too, it's like the first open in
Yeah.
2 years that
Yeah.
everybody could have their community back. That
True.
everybody could
Yes.
really have Friday
Yeah,
Night
the
Lights.
Friday Night Lights, all
Like
that good
it
stuff.
felt real again, which
I was so excited for it.
you know that in its own was a wild
Yeah.
scenario and like one that we always probably took for granted of just
Yeah.
like, oh, Friday Night Lights, everybody's gonna be there. But like this year it was like, we're back. Like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
shit,
yeah.
this is real now.
I want to make, before we go to our next one point from a PT's perspective on that workout too, is like when people were saying they wanted to retest it, I'm like, out of all the ones to do, like
It's
this
Friday
is when I'd be
one.
the most careful, because even when I did it on Friday, like my back was still sore,
Toast,
not in
yeah.
a bad way, but I was still sore until
Just a little beat
Monday.
up,
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
I think the strategy, at least in my mind for this, is again, you hit it once, cut yourself if you're not on the right pace, and then get ready to retest knowing.
Yeah.
But like knowing that you only have those 2 times throughout the weekend.
100%.
But
yeah, like Jeff saying, I think you kind of need to know if like halfway in and you're like, this ain't going the way I wanted it to. So just call it, because like we've said a million times now that like that's just like it's just a taxing workout.
All right, let's move. Any more points on there?
that's a wrap.
All right, let's move on. Workout number 3, which is this the first 3 workout open?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is
Because-
last year they had the lift. Last year they had the lift.
Right.
Yeah, last year was the first 3-week open.
Yeah.
This week was this year
But they
was the
had 4
first
squat
3
events last
workout.
year.
Yeah.
This year only 3 squat events.
So workout number 3, 4 time, 21 pull-ups, 42 double unders, 21 thrusters, 18 chest to bar pull-ups, 36 double unders, 18 thrusters, 15 bar muscle ups, 30 double unders, 15 thrusters, and weights increased with thrusters 95 to 115 to 135. Time cap is 12 minutes. For the women, the weight was 65, 75, 85 for thrusters.
I absolutely love this workout programmed, because I think it's definitely a workout where the elites can definitely separate themselves from like the just like people who are like fit and are good at those like kind of more traditional open like week 1 and week 2 style workouts. I think this gives that separation that I think the people at HQ are looking for in terms of like finding the fittest. That's what like the open and the games is, all that stuff is for. I think this kind of allows them to kind of separate the pack a little bit, because like a lot of the elites were going like sub 5 on this.
Yeah.
And I think that weight is good enough, because I think some people wanted that weight to be a little bit heavier, but I think it's a good enough weight, because I think when you get to that 135 barbell or even that 115 barbell, it's your heart rate's already jacked up at that point. You have a little bit of shoulder fatigue from the double unders and the gymnastics work, so I think it kind of causes you to slow down a little bit on those 2 heavier thrusters, and that's where the elites are really gaining the ground, is they're just not putting the barbell down. And then the muscle ups is the other separator, right? Like if you're gonna go sub 5, you're probably not breaking those muscle ups, and if you are, it's like probably 2 quick sets, and then at that point the workout's over. It's just do 30 double unders, which for them is literally rest, and then 15 thrusts at 135, which is not really that heavy for them. So I think this is a very, very well programmed workout, a good way to end the workout. My one thing on it is I feel like, I know the staple is the last week is always like thrusters and pull-ups, but I would like them to become a little more unpredictable. I'm not saying they should remove thrusters and pull-ups, because that is traditionally kind of like my wheelhouse, so I would like them to keep that. But I think they could probably shuffle it around in different weeks, kind of keep people on their toes a little more. But other than that, I thought it was a great workout.
Yeah. Jess?
I like this workout a lot. It felt very much like an open workout.
Yeah.
I wish there were more double unders. Yeah, I liked it a lot. I knew it was going to be a challenging one for me, but I was excited to have the opportunity to show that I worked on some of my high-skilled gymnastics in the last year, so I liked it. Yeah.
That's awesome. I would say that it was an interesting separator. It was an interesting choice for a separator. I don't know that I loved it, but it was cool in the sense that, like Matt was saying, it's, for the elite athletes, it's Fran.
Yeah.
It's just go, send it, stay unbroken on everything. And, for everybody else, it kind of was a good test, but it also could have maybe added like a different layer to it. Like Jess was saying, maybe more double unders or maybe a 155 barbell at the end. And that's just kind of my take. Obviously my preference is to heavy thrusters, but I think because basically what we saw across the board, and again, referring to myself as the average CrossFitter, somebody that can hang with bar muscle ups and get through it, it becomes that's where you get holed up, but you take your rest, you get through the bar muscle ups, and it's only 30 dubs and over. 15 thrusters at 135. So if, you happen to be a stronger athlete, but not quite the gymnast, you're still going to finish as long as you stay within there. So it's kind of like everybody kind of bottlenecked, if you will, at the bar muscle ups. But beyond that, like there wasn't a huge separator. So now I would say that based on that, like it kind of puts like a weird field in play going into quarterfinals, or the opportunity for a weird field going into quarterfinals, that we're going to see a lot of interesting things on the scoreboard, I think.
I agree. I think maybe putting in a heavy lift.
Holy.
Yeah, I think that might have skewed the scoring a little bit, and maybe allowed for maybe some stronger athletes to get into quarterfinals. But like we were kind of talking about in our group chat when I was saying, like, if you consider yourself top 10%, like, you should crush these workouts no matter what. So, if you're complaining that there was no lifts, like...
That is one thing I did appreciate, is it did stick to the root. As much as, I am kind of knocking it a little bit, I did appreciate the fact that it did stick to traditional CrossFit roots in the sense that CrossFit at the base of it is all about having an engine in any varied capacity. And so whereas years past, people could hide behind, a clean ladder, snatch ladder, and not be exposed.
But I do like the way they program the clean and snatch ladders. It's always like the one we've seen repeated a couple times, that with the toes bar double under and clean ladder, you kind of have to earn that work and show that you can clean 315 while being fit, not you're just some beast who can just clean 315. And then that handstand walk on with the heavy deadlifts. Yeah. I think that's a great workout too, because it's all right, you can handstand walk. Well, can you do it after you do Diane? Exactly. And then can you also do it after you do 21 extra deadlifts at 315? Can you still handstand walk? So I like when they program that way instead of just a heavy lift at the end of a workout, because like Jeff's saying, at the root of it, CrossFit is just essentially just that work capacity. So how well can you move through all this as fast as you can? Whereas the heavy lift, you kind of give yourself that time to kind of reset and let your heart rate come back down and then lift heavy. So I think it's a truer test of fitness in the sense of in these open workouts, if that heavier barbell is placed in a ladder scenario. Yeah. But I do think the 115 and 135 thrusters definitely were a twist to most people, because you really don't see a 115 or 135 thruster programmed, especially in the traditional class workouts. So I thought it was a good enough. I thought it was a heavy enough thruster where it would trip people up a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get to try it, so I didn't even.
I thought you were dropping in. Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, I did the workout, but I didn't. I did halfway through the muscle ups, and that was it for me. Something I got to work up next year. But I liked it. But a little bit along the lines you were saying, I like this style they did this year. Yeah. I think the 3 weeks tested GPP. Yeah. Essentially, in quarterfinals is going to test higher skill, higher weight.
And I think that's kind of the way the sport's transitioning now. Is so I think, if you're a top 10% general, you're saying, more GBP style stuff, if you consider yourself top 10%, you should crush those workouts. Yeah. And then I think the quarterfinals is kind of like that's where they'll pick the top 10% from, and you beat it down from there into like the top 1% to go to semifinals, and then from there it's the top 0.1%.
Yeah, I mean, even to kind of, I guess, if we're setting the open workout itself aside and going into, closing open thoughts, I would say the thing I enjoyed most in this is, like we were kind of talking about, now you can't be just a barbell specialist or gymnastics specialist.
Yes.
And
like,
so,
get away with it.
And I love that a lot of people kind of got punched in the mouth, so to speak. I mean, people, again, that stood by being a specialist, and they're like, I'm always kind of able to hang in there, but where's your engine at? You can't disrespect the engine work.
Nope.
Right, Jess?
Nope.
Cool. Any last closing thoughts for open?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that kind of like what Matt's saying is CrossFit definitely made it clear, at least in my mind, that, the open is now kind of a stepping stone. That, really the test for everyone is quarterfinals. And it's kind of cool in the sense that there was a lot of people that were surprised with not making quarterfinals this year.
Sure.
So it's going to reshape, I think, and give people kind of a gut check that are CrossFit fans, that kind of felt like they, were super far away from regionals or anything like that, like not on that competitive level, and they stuck to their local comps, that now you actually have something to kind of train for and go hard for. Because, I mean, for example, with Windrose, we ended up having maybe 6 of our 100+ athletes make quarterfinals. So
awesome.
But like, it's cool in the sense that it's not this just easy stepping stone anymore. That there is going to be some level of challenge, and that's going to be presented through your engine work throughout the course of the year. Because if it isn't just all high skill or heavy barbells, now it's not just about getting stronger throughout the course of the year. Like, now you have a reason to work every single day on building that engine, starting to work towards it, being able to hang with the wall walks, hang with, the box jumps, all the traditional movements. Again, CrossFit sticking to its core that, a lot of people were disrespecting kind of before the workout, looking at it like, maybe this isn't going to be so challenging. And then all of a sudden you get to like minute 7 of 22.1 and you're like, whoa, this is a lot worse than I thought it was.
How about minute 3 when you thought you were like 10 minutes into the workout and you looked at the clock and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah. And, I guess with that being said, looking at the equipment list for quarterfinals, does anybody have any thoughts?
Bench press, let's go.
It's so ruined by the bench press.
I'm scared.
I just hope it's like in a Metcon.
Yeah.
I think a bench press, like,
max bench,
as the heavy lift, is just ridiculous in terms of like a strength test. I think that's just ridiculous.
I agree.
You think that's Castro programming, or?
No, I think Castro's a lot more intelligent than that.
I don't know. There were going to be shuttle runs in 22.1 in Castro's version. Yep.
Oh, did they really end up releasing one?
It was on a podcast, yeah.
Really? Okay, cool.
Instead of what?
What? They replaced the shuttle runs with the box jump overs.
Oh,
that's interesting.
That's an interesting.
Yeah, that would have been.
I agree with you there. I don't think the shuttle run's a good idea. And
that would have been
it would
insane.
Be so hard to film
that. Would have been insane.
Yeah.
But it's just funny because if you take the judges course every year, like there's always like a question about shuttle runs, and it's like it's never come up, but it was gonna come up this year.
That's hilarious. Yeah, that's fascinating to me. Oh my gosh, that would have been so much fun to have shuttle runs in it.
It would have been chaos.
Yeah, I mean, like it'd be a train wreck trying to film that and everything else. But
I think another thing that goes into programming is kind of like the logistics, right? Like everyone has to run it in the heats and everything. And shuttle run, like think of like a gym, like here, not a lot of space, so like it would be tough to like kind of logistically run shuttle runs depending on how far they are. And I think that's probably something they were probably like logistically this is just ridiculous. So like
I think that's why the equipment list for quarterfinals is a whole different ballgame now.
They have never really tested running. I don't know how well a shuttle run tests your capacity.
Or like agility, like start.
Which they have tested in those sprints they do at the games where they have to like slalom course it almost. That's more so a test of agility than straight line speed. Yeah. So I could see that being like a feasible like quarterfinal test.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really creative, and I am excited for that. I think they really opened up the playbook, at least with the equipment list. And we'll see tomorrow. Tomorrow they're releasing all of the floor plans for the workout, so we'll at least have
you can kind of make an educated guess on the workouts.
So like when we know that you need a 15 foot of rope on this one. No shit, there's rope climbs.
If I had to guess,
but
rope climbs.
Tug of war.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think that's going to be really interesting to see, kind of how it all plays out. We did get to test bench a little bit this morning. Matt felt small.
How'd it go?
Not great.
We found out the old guys.
I bench like once a year just to make sure I can still do 2 plates. Just so I could do the NFL combine.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just so I could show up and get a rep at the NFL combine.
Matt loves his boomer jokes, but the boomers carried him this morning.
Boomer's body.
Yeah.
Watching Mike bench this morning was kind of hilarious. He
was Mike in?
we did it in his garage.
Yeah.
Hey, okay. You went to him.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mike threw on 305. It literally looked like it was an empty barbell. And he's like, "You're just gonna call it there." He was like, "Yeah, I know I can bench 215s. We'll just call it there."
Yeah, he went 225, 275, 305.
Yeah,
Matt and I were just
done.
what?
And 3 sets.
It was wild.
Strong.
But on that note,
Cool. All right, so we'll take a quick break and we'll come back and talk about affiliates.
I just wanted to clap.
Indie female and indie male. All right, guys, we are back. So a couple more things to go over for this year's Open. We have the affiliate rankings in Rhode Island. We have individual females and individual males. And just a heads up, these aren't officially official because CrossFit is taking a little bit longer than normal to finalize things. It's supposed to be done by Friday of last week. Now we're going to make it tomorrow. But so we'll start with the affiliates. I know, Jeff, you have that pulled up in front of you.
Yeah, so again, just to kind of stick to the pre-open show, we're only going to go really through the top 5. And in first place, to no one's surprise, you got Ocean State South. Second, to also, I guess, no one's surprise, Ocean State North. And then, CrossFit Gamut holding down that number 3 spot still. And then here, us at Windrose, we picked up the number 4 spot. Thanks, Matt and Jess.
Yep.
And then last, and based on the rankings, it looks like Diamond Hill edged out CrossFit Providence.
They did.
Get some.
Last year, Providence was also right under the cusp.
I think so.
Too.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
So not too many changes this year with the
Yeah.
rankings. Yeah.
No,
I think I said that on the last podcast. I don't think you can see that much change on the affiliate level just because it's distributed across so many different people.
Yeah.
Whereas you can see that athlete jump by thousands of spots on the individual leaderboard just because an individual can get way more fitter than an affiliate as a whole.
Absolutely.
So I'm not really shocked that there isn't any real changes in
Ocean State North did jump up quite a bit.
I think that was the only change, and I think that might have just been due to
the change of the ownership.
Yeah, change of the ownership
programming.
and COVID and everything. A multitude of factors probably played into that. But I'm not really shocked that they're number 2. I used to work out there when it was formerly no risk. There's plenty of fit people there, and I think a lot of people from Ocean State South might go there now because it's a little bit closer.
Yeah.
Oh, true. That's a good point.
Yeah, I think that is something that should be noted on Ocean State North. I think they definitely probably take from some of Ocean State South's members just because they're a little bit closer. Because Ocean State South's in Cranston.
Yeah.
So I think Ocean State North, formerly No Risk, they pull in a lot more people from the northern half of the state. So I think probably people who want to be that more competitive athlete who like the Ocean State brand, whatever, all that stuff. Now that they have a facility closer to them, that's probably where they go. Makes more sense for them, obviously, lifestyle wise and logistically.
Absolutely, it makes total sense. And obviously, Ray has proven it year over year. His programming is it's top notch. So shout out to Ocean State on what they've accomplished. And I mean, again, the gym that none of us seem to know anything about, Gamut, they're pulling down that number 3 spot. I've
only heard good things about that gym.
Yeah.
From people I know that have worked out there, whether it's drop in or that go there now. I've only heard good things about it. Good coaching and good community and stuff like that. It kind of things you kind of like look for in a gym. So,
and Fitness of the Coast, you worked out with some of the guys from Gamut too.
One of the guys. One of the dudes.
You did intermediate.
Yeah, but still, I mean, if they're having people travel for competition, there's probably at least some sort of a competitive aspect to the gym as well. But I've only heard good things about them in terms of like the gym itself. So not really shocked that they would be at the top of the list.
Yeah. And then, you got us, Windrose, putting in the work. Just hanging in there. We're the youngest gym of all the gyms here. Yeah, we are the newest gym of that list.
Oh, I thought you were saying like average age.
No. So we are the newest gym. We've only been around for 3 years now. So, to be able to kind of leap the leaderboard a little bit there, obviously, we still lag back in a world that I would love to be more competitive in, but I'm happy with where we're at. It's been consistent, solid growth, and be able to have you two on board has been a great experience.
And I think you've definitely bred sort of like a competitive community, and the fact that like people would like, even from, I know like you and Jess would do it or like redo or whatever the workouts on Sunday when there would be open gym, people would be redoing it. So there's people in the gym, but even when I would do it on Saturday when nobody's here, like there'd be a couple people who stick around and watch me, which was nice to have. Like not that like I expected anybody to or like demanded anybody to, but it was like nice to see like them kind of, I think they do kind of rally around that competitiveness. So I thought it was a good atmosphere for the open here.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun over the next year to 2 years to see that. Now that, especially not that I'm just leaning into you guys, but having you guys on board has definitely kind of created that rallying point where a lot of our community, with now that we're kind of coming back to normal, people are saying, hey, there's some fit people that we can kind of follow from our gym and see where they go. So it's been a really exciting process. And it's going to be really fun to see where this goes.
Yeah, I'm excited.
100%.
And then, with that number 5 spot, Diamond Hill,
where is Diamond Hill?
It's up north. Yeah, they're in Cumberland.
It's kind of near No Risk, right? It's right off 146, right?
But it's like further north. It's like up near me in Cumberland.
Yeah. It's right before your house, I think.
And it's just impressive that they are like the dark horse.
I think nobody. I don't know anybody who goes there. I don't know.
I really don't know much about them other than one time I dropped in 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And they didn't have bikes. So I have no idea where they're at now, but they have dug in. They have some fit people to be able to hang in there. I mean,
it's got dogs.
I mean, like think about it. If you're still ahead of CrossFit Providence, you're still ahead of Old Colony, you're still ahead of One Asterisk, like that's something to be said. I mean, it's kind of impressive. And we're talking about the top 10 athletes in the gym, so it's not just 2 or 4.
Sure,
we're talking. You got to go deep into the depth chart.
Right. For sure.
So it's kind of cool to see. I definitely something I'm going to look into more to see who's there that's really carrying them. But it's really impressive to see.
Is Full Range not affiliated?
No. Yeah, they are not an affiliate.
So like, who did Jake Marconi list himself on? Unaffiliated?
Non-affiliate.
Okay. So is that what everyone at Full Range does?
I'm not sure exactly what they did or kind of how they're going about it.
Yeah.
But I would assume that they're all listed as non-affiliated.
Makes sense.
But I guess that actually is a great segue into talking about the individual performance. So,
what do you want to start with?
Yeah, we'll start with the ladies.
As we have one of the fittest sitting with us.
Yeah. This is actually really exciting. One thing I would like to pick up on here. Obviously, Amy for like the umpteenth time is now the fittest woman in Rhode Island again.
Shocker.
Yeah. To no surprise. Katrina, I would butcher her last name if I tried to say it, but Jess, you seem to know her. She was in the number 2 spot.
I'm going to butcher it too. She's my coworker.
She was in the number 2 spot, followed by Jess in the number 3 spot, and Leah Smith in the number 4 spot, and Jessica Dreary in the number 5 spot. But before we kind of jump into the other athletes in 1 and 2, I kind of want to get a feel for this because, a lot of people might ask and wonder, where did this girl come from out of the blue? It's your first open. It's been a wild ride. I know that you just love showing up, but kind of give us a little bit of feedback on, what got you to this point.
Honestly, I'm not totally sure. Really though. Workout 1 was such a trip for me. I remember looking at the clock and seeing that I had 90 seconds left and having just finished the 10th round. And I remember the night before watching the live stream of the workouts and watching the elites get 11 rounds.
They got 11.
And I'm
right?
holy shit, I'm going to get 11 rounds too. But I was like, I have to move. And I remember like, I don't know, that was during the last 3 weeks, I was able to find a side of myself that I haven't seen in years, which was like really exciting for me. I ran competitively in high school and college, and towards the back end of my like running career, I had a really hard time finding that fire.
Like the drive,
yeah,
almost.
that like going to that place where like, I don't like just like a really dark place and being able to like grind it out. And I haven't been able to do that for years. And like to feel that again was awesome.
Well,
yeah.
I definitely noticed that from you in the open. I think when we started, we worked out together the
Can we go
first
back
time.
to a hot take though, real quick? I do recall a comment about just being kind of fit.
That's what I'm segueing into. All right, let me get to it. But I think so. The first time we worked out together was the Invictus qualifier. I didn't really put much stock into that. That was only the first time I've ever seen you work out.
I was also very nervous.
Yeah,
it
and
all started off with watching Amy go before me, and
Yeah,
I
and
was
she had her-
like,
she had
I was
her lion
literally
roar.
ready to
Yeah.
like call my mom and
It
leave.
was intimidating.
I was like,
for
I
sure.
don't know what I'm doing here. Jeff is really nice, but I don't know
Yeah,
these
yeah.
people well enough, so I'm about to get in my car and head back to Massachusetts.
But where I'm going with that is I definitely, like you said, you were nervous there. I think over the past couple weeks and then into the open, you've definitely found that confidence. I don't know if it's just you training with Amy and I and like being able to like beat us in workouts and like compete with us. I think that may have instilled some of that confidence you may have lost.
Sure.
Which allows you to like dig into that that drive and find that fire
Yeah.
again. And I think you definitely like tapped into that and had an incredible open performance.
Yeah.
And I think that's definitely something I've noticed since like training with you is I think you've definitely kind of like refound like
For sure.
I think you've definitely gotten more confident in your CrossFit ability.
I'm realizing what I can do, and like
Exactly.
in the last couple weeks, I want
You've
this. Like
expressed
I
it
don't
almost, yeah.
I don't want to just be an open athlete. I don't
Yeah.
want to just be a quarterfinals athlete. Like I want to
Yes,
be at
sir.
a semifinal. I want to like make
yeah.
a push to one day qualify for the games. And I know that sounds ridiculous, like
No,
coming
absolutely
from
not.
somebody who's like in their first year of CrossFit, but like I know I can do this shit.
I don't think
So,
that's like a
Yeah.
hot take or anything at all because this is your first year of CrossFit and you finished top 300 in the open? Maybe
top
less?
3. It was top 400 in North America, top 700 in the world.
Yeah, so like
I'd say you're on a good path.
Yeah.
I want this. I know
That's
what
me.
I'm fully aware of what my weaknesses are, and I know what I need to work on. And as much as it scares me to like be vulnerable and like push myself with like this new group here, I'm ready to just like make a lot of I've already made a ton of sacrifice, and I'm ready to keep doing it to take
Awesome.
it to the next level.
So
Very
what
cool.
what was kind of your favorite part of the open?
Oh my god, 22.2.
that was awesome to watch. That was awesome.
Oh my
to watch.
god, that just the energy here was awesome. I had Sean literally like in my ear the entire time, like pick up the bar, even though I like really didn't want to. And my judge was great. Steve is the man. Big shout out to Steve. And everybody was just rooting me on. And it was really cool having no idea where I was in that workout. And then clearing the bar and turning around and seeing 9-0, I was like,
Yeah.
I knew in that moment that was going to be like a top scorer in the world.
Yeah.
And I was like, I knew that I had no right doing that in my first open, but I was, like, hell yeah.
I mean, you have every right
So you
for
earned
it.
it. I'd
Yeah.
say
Hell
you earned
yeah. It was awesome.
It was just as fun to watch. I mean, from day one coming in here in the Invictus qualifier and us just kind of chatting even before that, after meeting at that comp last year, I knew it. It's weird as a coach, and that's part of my transition now that, having those experiences where you look at an athlete when they're competing and you just see that fire.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just something that's indistinguishable from, or it's something that's so distinct, that you can just see it from miles away. And I just remember at the comp that we were at, that last event, Jess just came ball of fire, just
I also didn't
just
need
go,
to do that.
go,
I was
go.
already winning, like, by a pretty large amount, but I was like, I'm still gonna kill everybody in
But that's
this
something
event.
that moves the needle, right? Is
Yeah.
that you always go out and you always 110%.
Give
For
it all.
sure.
Sure.
And that will come back to like benefit you when you go to like a semifinal event or like a bigger like off-season competition, and like maybe you're not going to be so super far in the lead. You're going to need those points.
100%.
Even though you are in the lead, you're 2 rounds ahead of everybody in the workout. But, like, you still need those points. So it's like, I still need to, like, hammer down here.
I also, like, I'm not one of those people, like, when I'm training with Matt and Amy, like, I'm not the type of person who's going to kill myself in a training day. Like, I'm going to work hard, but, like, I'm not going to light myself on fire. I save that for special occasions.
That's
and
strategic.
Yeah, like, I mean, even when I was running, the problem I ran into with my running, especially in college, was, like, every day was race day.
Every day you're trying to set
practices.
a PR,
like we would be racing each other, and that's how I got hurt. And I'm not here to do that.
You burn yourself out that way.
I'm saving it for special occasions, but I do know how to turn it on when it counts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Turns on pretty well.
I know there was a definite moment where when you told Matt and I your scores, we looked at each other and we were just blown away. We were like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah,
like this is a real deal. And at first I would say that we all kind of had that, kind of that moment after the first workout, we're like, all right, maybe this is a fluke. Like maybe there.
Me too.
Maybe
I was like,
isn't,
who knows what's gonna happen next week? You know?
Maybe this could have just been like the workout that was just your wheelhouse. But then watching 22.2, even though I was dying next to you, and still working out when you were done, it was just one of those things. It was so electric. Yeah, it was just that moment that when you finished that, and we all just kind of stopped what we were doing for a second, even while I was still. It was just like, holy shit, this is this is something much bigger than any of us ever expected.
I mean, it's not just like 155 is not a light deadlift for me, like for that many reps. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm kind of small. So like that's well over my body weight by a pretty significant amount. So I was in a severe amount of pain, but it was like one of those types of workouts where I was just able to turn my mind off and just go.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, it was a really impressive open to watch. It was really impressive to be able to be a part of that with you. It's going to be a really fun couple of years.
Oh, I'm like already excited for next year because 22.3 didn't go the way I wanted, which definitely sucked. I walked away from that day not feeling too great about it, but what gave me a lot of hope was knowing next year
it'll just be better
that stuff is not gonna hang me up the way it did. I'm very aware of what I need to work on this next year, so I'm excited to get back to work.
Heck yeah. We just got to get quarterfinals over with.
I know. Let's just get it done.
Just do quick shout outs to I know we're above top 5, but Claire in the open
she had a good
really
open
well.
This year.
23rd spot in Rhode Island. Also Kayla over at CrossFit Providence came in the 17th spot. Anyone else from Windrose you want to shout out, Jeff?
Lizzie came in a strong 23, she's 23rd overall, it looks like. And Lizzie is a hell of an athlete. I mean, for being with being a master's athlete, being a mom, having a full-time job, and doing everything that she does to maintain a top 25 position, she's doing a phenomenal job. I mean, it's fun to watch her. She just has that mental toughness. She loves it. She's here for it. It's just great. It's going to be fun to watch her in the age group quarterfinals.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
But yeah, I guess that kind of wraps up the ladies' side of it, which again, Jess, nice job. Congratulations on your first open.
Good stuff. Golf clap. There we go.
Thank you.
But now, changing over to the guys' side.
The dudes.
The bros.
So
the lads.
Yeah. The lads.
The wee lads. Definitely a different leaderboard this year. Again, just kind of going back to it. Obviously, Ray was out. A couple, one of the.
He was
athletes,
top spot last year, right?
He was number 2.
Jake was definitely
better
than him.
And unfortunately, just like we had mentioned in the last podcast, we were kind of looking at the one athlete, Justin Favreau. He hit a 300-pound snatch, right before the open, but then I guess he had an adductor injury, I think, or a groin injury. Poor guy. It looks like his season's over. But he was obviously a hell of an athlete. So we ended up with kind of a vacuum, if you will, for the top couple of spots. But that being said, to no one's surprise, Jake Marconi absolutely
shocker,
who
destroyed everything.
What was his worldwide? Was he 39 worldwide?
Yeah, that dude is an impressive athlete.
Yeah,
it's cool to see what he does. It's cool to track him. It's fun to be able to watch. hey, this guy's from Rhode Island. He's doing it right. He's out there working his tail off. It's cool to see.
He's out training
helps
with
to have
Fraser.
helps to have Matt Fraser in your corner too.
Absolutely.
Obviously, not taking anything away from Jake.
Sure.
because
Oh,
he's
yeah.
incredibly fit. But
And then, we'll get into... We'll let you kind of elaborate, Matt, on the number 2 spot.
Yeah, number 2, Jared. Shout out Jared. Dark horse for this year.
Yeah.
I don't think he did the
Who
Open.
is he?
I don't think he did the Open last year. He does some personal training. He coaches at F45. Has kind of had his feet wet in CrossFit for a while. Actually, if you're listening, next episode of RHODY Strength, I'm going to be interviewing him, so stay tuned for that. Military guy. Really, really good swimmer. Just really fit guy, kind of dark horse, came out, and I think GPP is really where he is strong, which obviously the Open test that. He is good with a heavy barbell. He is good. He has a gymnastics background.
Wow.
Like growing up.
So he's just a very all-around,
He's pretty well. Yeah. So he came in spot number 2. One of his workouts he finished. I'm not seeing on my leaderboard here. I think it might have been 22.1. I don't know if it was completely finalized, but he was in one of like the top 500 spots.
Wow.
In the world, but yeah,
that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. So shout out CrossFit Providence because he's kind of like a drop-in athlete there. He comes in once in a while. So
that's wild.
Yeah.
And then number 3 spot, again, no one's surprised, Tristan Marano. He's a hell of an athlete. He's been to the games before on the team with Ocean State. Gets it done. Number 4 spot, Tim Diro. I can never pronounce Timmy's last name right, but Tim's a hell of an athlete. Met him when I was at Ocean State. Dude is stronger than most people I've ever met. He's a hell of an athlete. And then in the number 5 spot, and Matt, I'll let you kind of open up on this one, Craig Buckley.
41 years old.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
Craig's a fucking beast.
Wow.
He gets after it. Super strong dude. Definitely has a great engine as well in terms of he's definitely I watched him do was it 20.1 the ground overhead and bar facing burpees. He did it in sub 10 and literally just finished his burpee, looked at the clock, wrote his time down and drove home. It didn't even affect him. Oh, Jesus Christ. What did I just do?
You pulled out my headset. Nope.
I think that was mine.
No, you disconnected the mic entirely.
Oh, we're off. We're off the air. We're back. We're back.
Technical difficulty.
It recorded all that. We just couldn't hear it.
Yeah, so like I was saying, he's definitely a very fit dude. I think he's 60th in the world right now for his age group.
That is impressive.
So I gave him a little shout out on Instagram when he put that up on a story. I said, Masters games, here we come.
There we go.
So he's definitely someone to keep an eye on. Definitely very fit dude.
That's impressive.
I mean, he gets after it.
We're not talking top 25 at 41. We're talking top 5.
Yeah, no, he's fit as fuck.
That is impressive. And I mean, his times across the board were just legit.
Oh yeah, he's 100% competitive.
But now I kind of want to turn it over to you a little bit, holding down the number 9 spot.
Ooh. What were you last year? 17?
I don't know what I was.
I think
top
you were
20.
I didn't really care.
17.
So my goal this year was top 5. Unfortunately, did not make it. But like Jeff, kind of alluded to earlier, the Open for me is it was honestly just another training day. Is instead of doing a Metcon in the middle of the training day, is more so the priority of the training day. Then it was pretty much back to normal training. And I think in a lot of these workouts, I didn't really look at the clock, and I just wanted to that's a big thing for me. I think I try and get too analytical with things, and I try and especially in 22.1, that's usually a workout where I try and set a pace by the clock, and I try and hold myself to it, and you kind of get out of line. Whereas that one, I didn't. I think I looked at the clock once, and it was at exactly 7:30. So exactly halfway through, I looked at the clock, and I was like, "All right, I'm holding a good pace. Just keep it going, I guess." And then, all these, I kind of really just didn't look at the clock. I just trusted my fitness and just kind of did it and forget about it. I think 22.2 probably should have been a better workout for me.
Going back down the ladder, gotcha.
Yeah, I think my back like actually locked up on one of the deadlifts. Like I remember you were like, dude, pick the bar up, and I was like, dude, I literally can't. But I just didn't feel good about that workout, knowing that like I've always struggled with that like hinging and bar facing burpee combo, and I constantly drill it and just like kind of like come up short of my expectations. Just like I remember like telling you right after the workout, I was like, that's just not good enough. Like, but other than that, I think I've moved on pretty well from everything. Like, just forget about it. It's whatever.
I mean, that's
not
the nature of the beast.
Open.
Yeah. I mean, and you know, I think we saw quite a few even perennial games athletes posting, you know, about them having to be able to walk away from repeating open workouts because there's just no value in it anymore.
Exactly. And there's no value in especially like trying to redo that to like be 6th in Rhode Island.
Yeah,
it doesn't really fucking matter that much.
Yeah, it's
you don't win anything.
Yeah,
so
the novelty of it is cool, maybe once or twice. But then after that, it's okay. Let's get to the next round where it really
I'd rather win stuff that actually matters. Like that's what my sights are set on, not winning the open.
As long as you hit quarterfinals, you're good.
Yeah, and I would say that what was the most important test throughout the open was the last test for Matt, because that was kind of the intro to quarterfinals.
Sure.
And one attempt, 7:14, smoked it. It was smooth. It was kind of the way that we were hoping to end the open.
Yeah.
And it was just it's what mattered. It's
how
do you lead in?
Yeah, and I think that was probably my best executed open workout, because I think 22.1 I probably could have pushed the wall walks a little bit harder than like I did. I was definitely kind of like slowing down there when I probably shouldn't have. Like I think that one I was like, I'll probably just break 9.9 on that second set of thrusters. And then from there I was just like, just do the bar muscle ups quickish, and then just like the workout's over. I think I probably could have pushed the bar muscle ups a little more and maybe try to hang on to that last barbell a little more, but like we're saying, at the end of the day, like the open's not really my focus. So like just whatever. But I thought I executed well. Like you said, a great way to end the open. Like I felt really good after that workout compared to the other two.
Absolutely. And you know what, that was from a coaching standpoint, that was the biggest thing I was focused on was, okay, we got other priorities to worry about right now. So let's just hit the workout, move on, and get ready for quarterfinals /FOTC. So, I mean, all in all, I'd say it was a very productive open. Do you get to hang your hat on being top 5? Unfortunately not, but we'll see what happens in quarterfinals.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a much
that's
better
what actually matters.
You.
So
yeah. And so I think, that's going to give us a lot more insight into where
like
you're really at.
Our goal, like me and Jess, I guess you could say, our goal is to eventually make semifinals, like, and at least be like somewhat competitive for a semifinal spot next year. So like the open really is negligible to us, honestly, at this point.
Yeah.
At this point in our like athletic development, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I mean,
the open is negligible.
It's kind of checking the box. And it's funny.
I mean, you got to do it to make it to the games or a semifinal. So like you have to do it. But
it's kind of funny in the sense that we could literally use beyond the whiteboard data to just be like, okay, this is a score you need to get just to get 95%.
Yeah,
and that's all we really care about.
Yeah.
Obviously that's going to continue to change for us as we move along. But all in all, pretty happy with the way that things went. We got a lot of good training in. We didn't waste any training days.
No,
that could have been used more effectively. So we definitely executed the way that we needed to.
Oh yeah. A couple notable shout outs.
Yeah. Obviously to, I guess, my new rival, so to speak, Andrew Fatsy.
Yeah, over Windrose.
Andrew's a hell of an athlete. He's been a long time just engine athlete, beast, bodyweight ninja, and he held down the number 15 spot, edged me out in every single workout.
Sleepy, he's definitely good with the barbell too.
Oh yeah,
I saw him doing clean
he used
jerks.
to be at a PBC for a while.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. Because I watched him lift, and he moves fucking perfectly.
Yeah.
So like he can definitely. He's definitely, like, he seems a little, like, smaller statured, like, obviously no offense to Andrew, but, like, he definitely seems like the barbell would be almost like a limiter to him, but from what I've seen, he moves the barbell great.
Yeah, he's a stud of an athlete.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
He'll be doing quarterfinals with us. It'll be really fun. And then, I guess,
Jeff,
Matt, we can talk about our predictions and our outcomes.
Well, you came in the 17th spot.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised.
Damn, Jeff's weight is 1 kg.
Yeah.
My boy thin. Thin as hell.
Yeah, I don't even know how that got set up like that.
Well, it weighs 2.2 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's in a sense of validation of all the aerobic capacity work I've done for the last year. But I mean, like, I feel obviously, validated and such, going from a 52 spot coming off the back injury.
Huge. Yeah.
To jumping up to the top 20, in truth, my goal was just to be in the top 35. And just, as again, the old guy in the room that's just kind of the average CrossFitter. I'm pleasantly surprised by everything. It was a fun open for me. And the non-heavy barbell definitely helped me out.
A couple other shout outs. Obviously, we got Sammy Pascal, 26th spot. Over at One Asterisk. We got Ray over at CFP, 23rd spot. Dave Estrada, 34th spot, CFP.
He's got to be up there for Masters, though, right?
He's Masters now.
He's got to be up there.
He's 36. Pat, another coach, CFP did really well this year, 49th spot. What did I even come in? I can't remember. What was I?
Did you make the top 50?
I didn't. I got bumped. I think
I
was 61.
Oh my God.
Nah. What happened?
We got to change the group name. We had this top 50.
I know. I got bumped.
God.
And also Tanner coming in at 53rd spot over at CFP. But yeah, I mean, I was happy with how I did. Went from 97 to
since we're there real quick, I gotta give a shout out to my boy Steve. Steve Wood has a hell of an engine, and he got to put it on display in this open.
Go.
And it was probably one of his better opens, and we were super stoked for him.
Awesome,
it was a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, like, what a wild ride this was on the leaderboard, because at least for me, that was something that I felt like made it a lot more fun, because every score was so tight.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to CrossFit HQ, wish they would have added some tiebreaker factors to the earlier workouts.
I think, but I think that also goes into like the whole top 10% thing, right? Like if you're
there,
you're in the top 10%, like you shouldn't really need like a tiebreaker to like put you into the top 10%.
Yeah,
like if you need a tiebreaker for that, like it's not the end of the world if you don't make it. Like you should probably just like
keep training
for next year. Yeah,
sure. Yeah,
but,
be better.
Yeah, and I'm sure there will be tiebreakers for quarterfinals, as that will actually be a legitimate advancement into the next round, as they only take top 120 for North America.
Top 120 out of 7,000.
Yeah, so like
athletes in North America.
So tiebreakers definitely needed for that. But then there's also 5 scored events I think in quarterfinals.
So, I mean, it could be 6. They left it open because the way that they have it set up is they worded it, all scores will be due by 12 p.m. Pacific time on Sunday. They didn't say 2, whereas Friday and Saturday they designated the 2 scores.
Okay.
I gotta say it's gonna be interesting. Do either of you guys have any takes on quarterfinals and what we should expect to see and what you like to see?
I would expect to see. They did this last year so they repeated, 17.1?
Yeah.
Or whatever that workout was. So that dumbbell snatch and the
burpee box jump
over. They essentially did a variation of that with the heavy power snatch and the high box jump over. I would expect to see something maybe similar. Maybe a take on that deadlift workout, maybe a heavier deadlift with some other kind of movement. But that would be tough to do given what they've already programmed. I don't know if we'll see pull-ups or anything again. Just because that has essentially already been tested in a fitness capacity.
Obviously, there's going to be some sort of barbell snatch. In there.
There's definitely a heavy barbell.
There's going to be a heavy barbell. I would actually like to see a quarterfinal workout that was one of those old open heavy barbell ladders. That
or
would
just
be
7 minutes of burpees.
Facts.
Yeah.
I think that would be a cool transition into quarterfinals. Kind of designate the heavier and higher skill, you got to earn it pieces. One, you have to earn it to get to quarterfinals, and then in quarterfinals, it really weeds out the of that top 10%. You still kind of get those outliers who are really strong, but maybe not overall the fittest. And I think those kind of workouts really weed out and really truly test your fitness. Yeah, you want to test your strength. Well, can you do it when your heart rate's at 180 beats? Or stuff like that. I think
Absolutely.
those are good tests. And like you kind of saw it with the heavy snatch workout last year, I think.
Man, you're gonna make me cry. Throwing a heavy snatch barbell.
I think that definitely really tested that like snatch proficiency and like strength, where you saw like guys like Tola like go touch and go the whole workout at 185. Meanwhile, I was like doing singles and like missing reps. so I think that's definitely something that I think definitely weeds out that more elite group, which pushes them towards that semifinal path.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So I would expect to see a lot of stuff like that. I would like to see it be one of those like kind of older open workouts. I think that would be a cool.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Because they didn't do a repeat in the open, which I think you said
they didn't
was like the first time ever they haven't repeated.
Yeah, is that correct?
Yeah,
I don't believe so. Yeah,
we're gonna need to fact check that.
You're gonna need to fact check it.
I don't know, but
I heard from a guy.
When you guys told me that, I'm just taking it and running with it.
Yeah.
But I think that would be cool to like still get the open repeat.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like maybe that clean and like toast bar one.
Oh, that would be a dream. I would literally die.
Actually,
and you could probably PR your clean during it too.
I would.
Actually,
I would.
Let's
to
go.
that point, Jess, what do you think? What's your take?
I don't know, because I'm so new. I don't know what's going on. I'm just happy to be here. I'm going into this as like an opportunity to learn and maybe hopefully hit a couple PRs along the way. I hope there's some GHDs, because after everyone got rhabdo last year, I was like, I'm not going to get rhabdo, so I'm going to do a lot of GHDs this year. Love me some pistols, so hopefully those come up. Yeah, I'm just excited. I have no opinions on anything. I'm just here for the ride.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I guess with any last thoughts that I have on that one, I guess one, I want to go back to our podcast last August.
Sure.
And just say, called it. Because in the team equipment list, 70-pound dumbbells are now required.
Wow.
So, yes, that is going to be the direction I believe we're going to see CrossFit moving in. Because the 50-pound dumbbell is no longer a challenging movement.
Sure.
So, I think we're going to start to reasonably expect to see...
It's challenging if you do like 150 of them.
Well, absolutely. I mean, look, that comes, with obviously disclaimers and caveats and so on. But in the reality of where the sport's going, I think we're going to start to see an increased demand with the athletes, because we're hitting a point now where the separation is so small. Like the needs for getting ahead of somebody require so much that testing on the same type of testing platform as they were doing in the past with the 50-pound dumbbell, it's slowly becoming irrelevant.
I think, the sport is definitely evolving. Obviously, athletes are getting a lot fitter. You can kind of like compare it to other sports, right? Like the game changes.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like as athletes have gotten better in football and in basketball, the game spreads out a little more because you can utilize their athleticism, showcase their athleticism. Kind of the same thing here. Like people are a lot stronger now. People have a lot better aerobic capacity now. Like they can move a 70-pound dumbbell snatch like it's nothing.
Yeah.
And the 50, you kind of, like you said, like everyone can kind of do it. But you get to that 70, it's like, all right, like now we're really really testing like who's actually like who can still move the 70-pound like it's a 50-pound dumbbell. So I think that's just kind of like the evolution of the sport, right? Is that weights and stuff will get heavier.
Yeah, and I think to that point, obviously them adding every imaginable implement on the
So helpful
on the equipment list. It's wild. I mean, a flat bench on the equipment list, the rings on the equipment list, and this is why I keep referring to myself as the average CrossFitter, because I know I am not prepared for quarterfinals. I do not have the same goals as you guys do, but I love being a part of the journey because it's just going to be a very tough test. I know that much. I know without a shadow of a doubt this test is going to be incredibly hard. And, watching athletes that made the top 10% last year that didn't have that, like, okay, I'm trying to get to a semifinal mindset, do quarterfinals, and, they all did the GHD workout. And like Jess said, everybody's getting rhabdo. You get the people like me doing that. And it's a lot to prepare for. Like, you really need to be not only physically prepared, but mentally prepared for what you're about to endure over the test of 3 days.
And I think I brought that up on our last podcast when we were talking about the GHD workout. I said, I don't know if that is essentially a good quarterfinals test, just because that 10% is so broad. Like you still like that 10%. If you're just a fit, like just do the class WOD a day type person, like you can make the 10%.
Yeah.
And then you have a 0 GHD volume, because like how often do you see a GHD program in a class WOD? So like that workout, obviously it tests the fit. Like they were fucking doing it in like 12 minutes, like insane. But like I don't know how good of a test it is for the top 10%. I still think that's a very broad time domain. Not saying the test wasn't good. I thought it was a definitely good test, especially for those elite level athletes. But like you were saying, in terms of like just getting wrecked by the GHD with that much volume, at least.
I think the timing was irresponsible. So the pandemic was wrapping up.
I think that had a point in
and
it
a
too,
lot of people did not have
a gym.
Yes, they haven't. They didn't have the GHD to practice on leading up to that, so they weren't doing that much volume on it. Even people like pretty high up who were finishing in that top 1,000. I know plenty of people who were injured by that workout.
For sure.
Yeah, I think it's a good workout. It was just irresponsibly placed.
I think that's more so probably where I'm going with this. And I think when I looked at that workout last year, like I wasn't able to train like I train now. So I had done absolutely 0 GHD sit-ups before that workout. And I literally, everyone's like, what's your strategy here? And I was like, I'm going to sandbag this workout. Like, I'm just going to do it to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't done a GHD sit-up, and I have to do heavy snatches tomorrow, and I got to, like, do the row and wall ball. Like, I have to do all this work the next 3 days. Like, I'm just going to do this workout, get it submitted, and just, like, make sure I'm not, like, a shell of a human the next 3 days.
Yeah.
And even after I sandbagged it, like, it was hard for me to, like, stand up a power snatch just because, like, going into, like, that, like, kind of tight core position and, like, kind of just standing up, even just that, like, small amount of movement, I was like, oh, my God, my abs are so tight.
Used to that.
So, like, I think it's definitely, it was definitely, like, a workout that I think definitely kind of, like Jess was saying, kind of like irresponsible program.
Well, it's important when you get the workouts to look at all of them, right? And see, like, which ones should you do first? Like, I was someone's judge during quarters last year, and that was the first workout that they did.
That's probably not smart.
Yeah,
you got to start with the front squat in that case.
Yeah, it was wildly irresponsible to start with 100. And they finished. So how many GHDs total was that? Like 100?
I think.
Yeah, like, so that's a lot of GHDs to be doing before you do any other work.
Incredibly core taxing.
It was 120, I think, because it went 50, 40, 30.
No, it started at 60.
Yeah.
It went,
60,
because that was age group.
40, 30. Wow. So it's important to look at all of them and be like, what's the best plan of attack here?
Yeah, I mean,
and you kind of game this, what workouts are due when, and then you can kind of, if there's a workout that's maybe not due Sunday, but it's like something you might be able to like gain ground on, maybe you do it first, that if you do have to do it again, it's not going to like kill you to do it again. You can like get a better score on it, whatnot. But yeah, like you're saying, there's definitely a lot more strategy to it.
For sure.
Yeah. And I mean, on top of that, it's, using the schedule to your advantage because, kind of for example, last year, Steph Chung came down, did the quarterfinals here, and she knocked out 2 of the workouts Thursday night so that she got kind of a head start and ended up putting herself in a position where she was able to retest one of them on Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it made a huge difference for her.
I love the tight windows. It makes it more of an actual comp feel with also allowing like 10,000 people across the world to compete in it. But it definitely makes it like more fair, right? Because like a lot of that, even in that top 1%, like even that elite like section of people, like there's still a lot of people who work 9 to 5 and like are working 40 hours a week. They can't. I think if you're at that level, you're just honestly being negligent at that point if you have a chance at qualifying for semifinals and you kind of don't take that weekend off for work. But if there's obviously something and you can't, and you are one of those people, like it definitely puts you at a disadvantage, like having to like instead of like
with people that are full-time
instead of like
100%.
someone like Noah Olsen who only works out for a living can like redo that as much as he wants within 4 days or wherever it is, whereas you kind of like have to, like Jess is saying, like you have to kind of like strategize and pick and choose when you're going to retest and what workouts you're going to retest.
Or in my case where I messed up with scheduling the L2 and I'm going to be in a seminar for 2 straight days and then try to do that.
Awesome.
Cool.
But yeah, I guess
Yeah,
Doc?
I mean, let's. I guess we'll start to wrap things up.
Yeah.
I mean, any final shout outs, any final plugs that you guys might want to.
Shout
leave
out
us with?
Jeff.
Let's go. Shout out Jeff. Yeah.
Yeah.
My name's Jeff.
Oh gosh, I don't know about all that. But.
No, for real though. I mean, yeah, the last couple weeks, coming down here, I didn't realize it that I needed this, but I needed this, and it's really helped me see something in myself that I didn't know was there. So
Awesome.
big shout out, Jeff.
You go, Jeff.
Well, hey.
Big shout out to Mike.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike is
might
our
be getting us
architect.
fit.
Yeah. For anybody that doesn't know, Mike is a member of our gym. He programs for me, Jess, and Matt. And I mean, we have been incredibly fortunate. He is like an artist of programming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel fitter than I felt when I got back from the team Fittest of the Coast. Like on the Echo bike this morning, I was hitting 800 watts and it wasn't even an issue.
Yeah.
So I was like crying to hold like 500 at the comp, and I was hitting like 800. Not even breaking a sweat.
Awesome.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it probably helped that I was talking shit to you, but
facts.
Hey, you like that?
And you did get the bike ramping up, and I called you out for it. I was like, ooh.
yeah,
Hardo.
I mean, hey, that's what it's all about, and that's what I was hoping when I said to you that I wanted to build a team, build an environment where people could come and start to grow and become what they want to, and it's exciting now. Now, like we have it, we're on the path, and it's going to be a wild ride, and I guess. For anybody following us, Matt is competing at FOTC the weekend right after quarterfinals.
Yes, sir.
And Jess will be locally competing at the Invictus Boston Invitational in June, who made the cut, and she's killing it. So
Very
we're
cool.
going to
She's
get
probably gonna
ready
win.
for that.
No. Amy will be there, so she's going to put me in my place real fast.
Hey, that'll be fun.
I don't know.
That'll be
There's a
good.
couple months.
Yeah,
We'll
I
see
mean,
what happens.
hey,
Never say never, Jess.
but no, and then we got some fun things we're going to do all summer long with getting stronger and everything else. And then if these guys elect to do it, we'll go to New Hampshire for a competition. And if things play out right, we all might be going to Vegas for a comp. So
Yes.
Let's go.
we got a pretty busy season ahead of us.
We're going for the comp, but we're really going for the after party.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
My goal is to win, get one of those big fancy checks, and go directly to the casino with said big fancy check.
Put on red. Put on red.
I'm not even gonna go. I'm just gonna bring it right to the roulette table, put it down, give me the
Double or
chips.
nothing. Let's go.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, I that's a lot of exciting stuff, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of a lot of long, boring weekends in between now and then.
It is what it is.
And for anybody that's listening, if you fell just shy of that 10% cut line, that's what I again can't continue to stress enough. Put the work in. It sucks, but if you're feeling down and out right now as a result of your performance in the Open, the things that are going to move the needle are the things that you have to do every single day. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
The only reason I'm like in this position now is because I literally made this my life. Like, like you don't get this type of progress in a year without fully committing to something. So
Yeah.
I mean, to pretty much repeat what Jess just said, like, I mean, it's like a lot of weekends you kind of have to like stay in and be more so responsible. Like, you can still go out and have fun, but like instead of like taking shots and everyone's taking shots, like you kind of just have to like sit and watch. And it sucks. It sucks. And like it kind of feels shitty sometimes when I'm doing it, but like I want to win the CrossFit Games, so
And that's what it's all about.
that's what I have to do to get there. So,
Hell yeah.
And that's the
Priorities.
fire.
so like that's what I have to do.
Cool. And I guess like just final shout outs, obviously. Shout out
Yeah.
CrossFit Windrose. This is a great setup today. I love it. We'll have to do it here again.
Yeah. Hey, we try.
Shout out CrossFit Providence where I work out of.
Shout out Newport Home and
Strength
Drone.
and Sport. Shout out Newport Home and Drone. Chris behind the camera.
Greatest producer on the planet. Newport Home and Drone.
Absolutely. Lost Art.
He's all right.
And obviously Strength and Sport PT.
No, he sucks.
You're an athlete. You're an athlete. You're injured. Been in pain for a while. Let me know. Hit me up.
Yeah, Dr. Matt fixed my back. Proof is in the pudding. Went from 52 down to 17 in the
Yep.
rankings.
Let's go.
And Dr. Matt's gonna sign me to an endorsement contract. Still waiting on the paperwork though.
Cool. All right. Nice job, guys. We are signing off.